If I could only pick 5 tickers to trade the wheel strategy on this week, these would be it. Yo, what is going on, premium chasers? I hope you are having a God blessed day. Today, every single person that comments down below is going to get my 10 favorite Ark Options Strategy stocks. So if you want those picks, make sure to drop a comment down below and I will personally respond to you with it. And make sure while you're down there, hit the like button and the subscribe button, guys. First and foremost, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. I don't know about you guys, but how your morning's going, not to get sidetracked, but I walk outside with my cup of coffee, got some amazing gifts from my daughters, and what do I know? I look over, and there's a buck stuck in my fence. So it's been an interesting morning to say the least across the board. But guys, let's story time over. Right now we're going to be talking about the 5 stocks that I'm planning to run the wheel strategy on this week. So let's go over the shoulder and talk about it. First and foremost is ticker symbol SJM. If you don't like your Uncrustables, we can't be friends. But in all seriousness, SJM is set up beautifully. We've been talking a lot about this one in our private community. Has been a great setup, especially last week when we all got into it. And it is still a great setup, in my opinion, for cash secured puts, right? Taking a look at the 90s, 85s, right? Premiums aren't as crazy juiced up, but me personally, guys, the more I kind of been in this, and it's cool because I feel like my game since I started this channel has gotten like so much better with like options selling, because I see all these other ideas that people are throwing at me, people in our free group, people in OSS, right? And I constantly am just exposed to all this. And the cool thing is, guys, and you probably know this, like the more you're exposed to something, other people's things, right, the better your game becomes. And this was actually brought up in our community, and a bunch of us jumped into it well below 200 and 300 day moving averages, still blown past that bottom Bollinger Band. Great for Ark, decent dividend all across the board, a consumer staple, which you guys know, like I have kind of like 2 niches in my trades, investments. I'm not a trader. Two real niches. I like tech / networking IT products, primarily like firewalls, IT stuff. And the second is like products like SJM, PNG, Procter and Gamble, J&J, like these Pepsi, Coke, like these. I love businesses that have a ton of products and a ton of different brands under their umbrella. And SJM is one of those. And I'm going to be honest, I slept on this one a lot. I came, I forget who did in our private community, brought it up, and then we're like, whoa, this is a great setup, And that is the benefit of immersing yourself in a community of people with this, guys. All right, second one let's get into is GitLab, ticker symbol GTLB. Again, an amazing setup for it. This one I would say is a little bit on the riskier side of things, but for me it's really not. They had a great earnings. Like if we go look at their earnings here real quick, like guys, revenue beat estimates 16. I say their guidance isn't as good for Q2. Understand. I totally understand that. I get that. Like that happens, right? No one, eventually we plateau, right? Like we can't just keep going on and be parabolic forever. But in all, I still have a lot of faith in GitLab, all right? So for me, it's a fantastic opportunity, and it's just continues to get absolutely beat down off of its 200 and 300 day moving averages, almost kind of using that 200 day moving average as a resistance level. Really, actually 300 day moving average as that resistance level. Also blown past that bottom Bollinger Band. And looking like a juicy cash secured put, guys. Also, I know that I'm going a little bit heavy today, kind of just jumping in. Look, but I had a game warden at my house. It was a whole spectacle what I just went through for the last 3 hours of my life, getting this buck off my fence. It's just brutal. If you really want to see pictures, DM me on Facebook or Instagram or in our private group. But I know I'm kind of getting into like a lot of technical analysis and stuff. If you want more information on this, like the Ark strategy and how the Ark option strategy works, the first link in the description will show you kind of the nitty gritty details. But I'm going to assume you kind of already know how to sell options and stuff. So apologies if I'm going a little bit quicker today. All right, it's Father's Day. I gotta get to it, but I can't forget about I can't forget about the whole option seller fam. Thirdly, all right, hard ones to talk about, but listen, this is just the reality we live in. Obviously, a lot of instability in the world right now. I've been saying airline stocks are getting just hammered since I started this channel, since the first PCI report came out, or CPI report came out, and they basically were just not giving away tickets, but they were just discounting tickets a lot more for airlines because people were just, honestly, I talk to like everyday people. Like the one story you guys know, when I was at my barber shop, all the barbers were all just chatting. They're like, I ain't flying anywhere. I ain't going anywhere. I ain't going anywhere. Right. And because there's just so many accidents happen. Obviously, recently, a tragic accident again. Like it just people are getting a lot more nervous to fly. Right. They just are. And I believe we're going to start seeing a bigger pullbacks across. I do believe that. With that said, American Airlines is starting to set up very, very nicely. I would love for this to get under 9. Personally, under 10. If this can get under 10, I'm going to be doing heavy cash secure, but it's already in great territory in my opinion. For cash secure puts trading at 1037 right now. Get beat up this week. It really did cross from really kind of working its way towards the top Bollinger Band and just kind of shot back down. Really after the what happened. Recently, well below off its 200 and 300 day moving average. Well below meaning, for in American Airlines terms. Like this is a very stock I've been trading for a long time. This isn't making parabolic moves, which is good. Right, like some of you think you need parabolic moves in the wheel strategy, and Ark. You really don't. Okay, you don't want, honestly, the flatter the better, right, with Ark options, honestly, because you don't, the bigger the moves, obviously the juicier the premiums, but the higher the risk, right? There's it's all a healthy balancing act, and that's why I say option selling is a journey. Right? It's a journey. It's not necessarily something kind of that you just, it's a one size fits all. All of us have our own different journeys, risk tolerances, degeneracy levels, right? So with that said, I still think, I do believe in American Airlines. The other one is Delta as well, and not quite as beat up. I mean, still getting beat up. Don't get me wrong. Very similar chart, but I would want to see this get down to under 44, preferably. It's still far from its 35 price where it was in April, as opposed to when we look at American Airlines, which was really around $9. I would love for it to get back down. I don't know about that. I'll be looking at cash secured puts at 9, maybe a little bit more aggressive, depending on how this week goes. Look, we've been through a lot of crap together already. I think we can all agree. I mean, this channel has started 3 months ago, and we have ping-ponged back and forth from that greed and fear index how many times already? I am not a financial advisor. I truly have no idea what I'm talking about, okay? But one thing I know is there's a lot of uncertainty right now in the world, and uncertainty is going to start leading to a lot of fear, okay? And that's not to scare you. We've seen this time and time again, right? And we are living in a very sensitive time right now, with everything going on. I'm not going to go into, I don't want to flag this video, but I think you guys know, right? With that said, that will create opportunity. I know some people don't like me talking like that, like capitalizing on this. I try and take my emotion out of these kind of things. I genuinely do. I try to, during the COVID times when, the world was ending, I took my emotion out of it, and I saw opportunities and I took them. I look at that as my responsibility as a man. I know that sounds like super Andrew Tate crap. I know, and I'm not, in ways I guess I am, because for me, my job is to provide, right, and to create a good foundation for my family, right? That's it, and it is that means doing difficult things in difficult times, and not to kind of get all woo woo, but this is creating times. Right, and it's up to you. You could stand on the sidelines, right, or you take advantage. I mean, you choose your side. It does not matter to me whatsoever. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. So I'm going to take advantage. I think this week's gonna be tough. I think we're gonna be in a tough situation, honestly, for a good amount of time. That's just me. Not to scare anybody out there, but it feels all too like this happened before. Okay. And as we start moving more and more into the fear side of things and the fear and greed index, what do we say? Dude, as hard as it's going to be, when we start seeing things drop, which I do believe we will, I genuinely do think we're going to see. I think the recovery was absolutely insane from April to where we are now. A little bit of a pullback, but not nothing drastic. I do think we'll see a pretty big pullback across the board. A lot of you just jumped right into it, and me, like, you know, you guys, again, you watch the channel, you know, I'm not just jumping right back in, especially in the pre-market calls that I do. You guys know it's like cover calls right now, right? And then like load up on the ammo when everybody's running scared in the streets, right? So that's that. All right, so we talked about Delta and American Airlines. Next, a few other kind of like other ones that I am looking at here, guys, is DocuSign. I do like DocuSign. I'm kind of just staying patient. I want to see how it's going to test this 300-day moving average of around $72. If we cross below that, I may consider jumping in that. I don't know at this point. I'm right now. I'm kind of keeping a lot of dry powder because of the fear that's going to be coming. That I don't know. Just a gut feeling. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. But we have a record high week. Fantastic. I mean, great. But it's, in my opinion, it's always smart to sit on dry powder, right? Some of you think you always need to be trading. You always need to be doing something. Not doing anything and just collecting that interest, guys. That is a position, guys, of ARK, right? Our ARK options is 5 strategies, right? We're earning, and one of them is earning interest on your cash secured puts. And even if you're not earning interest on your cash secured puts, you're still earning interest. Okay, that is a position. It might not be a great position, but your money's still working for you. And that is what the ARK options is all about. Okay, can't stress enough. And then Pepsi, I know I bring this one up a lot, but I mean, look how tight this Bollinger Band now has been. This thing has been so good for iron condors. It's absolutely insane. But with that said, still well below 200 and 300-day moving average. Obviously, we're going to continue to see that those averages drop here over time. But I still think Pepsi is really good at 130. I genuinely do. It's been kind of sitting around here for a while now. For a while at this like 130 level, really since the beginning of May. So guys, that is it for today's video. Make sure you drop a comment. I'm going to send you guys my 10 favorite ARK option strategy stocks, plus a bunch of other tips in there. Drop a comment and I'll personally reply to you. Let me know what you guys think, what's going on. Let's collaborate. You know, you guys already know this thing isn't about me, this channel. Like, it's all we can all win at this together. That's why I love the stock market. There's always opportunities everywhere out there. And if you are somebody that wants a more handheld approach, and you want to surround yourself with amazing, incredible people all doing this day in and day out and having insanely good conversations, sharing information, not holding anything back, click the first link in the description of today's video. That's going to show you what we do here at the Ark Options Strategy. And then if you like what you hear and you want to kind of go a little bit deeper with all of us, you'll be able to book a call with us. 2 requirements, though. You can't be toxic. I don't talk. Listen, I'm in a different phase of my life right now. If you're toxic, you're get rich quick, you're not a level-headed individual, yeah, we're going to filter you out. That's why I like to speak to every single person. Because again, I'm not going to have you come and infiltrate my community that I'm building. And honestly, everybody's amazing in there. And I think if you guys, any of you guys that are watching, I think you would agree that our community is insane. There is no toxic people in there. And that is so important to me, because if I don't start not to like this something, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm going to go focus on business and work, okay, and not continue it. And that's not the point of this for me. So if you want to learn more about that, click the first link in the description of today's video, guys. Remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.